Hey there folks, and welcome to this video, and here I'm going to be talking about the WRC, and it's going to be a little point that I have mentioned a few times before. It's not going to be any kind of like WRC news, this is more of a speculation based off of personal opinion. And it comes forth for me thanks to a comment by the user Alexei on my video from Friday about WRC cancelling their Autosport International launch for next season. And Alexei points out that with Citroën leaving and with the situation in Chile and in Australia, meaning that things such as the Gala night, as well as the final round in Australia, as well as the round next season in Chile, all being cancelled, it doesn't seem like the WRC is going through a good time for its now 3 remaining teams after Citroën's departure. And this has been a kind of general feeling amongst the WRC fan base. It's been this kind of feeling that the WRC has had its golden age for this generation of cars now. Because 2017 to 2019, we had 4 works teams. We had M Sport, we had Citroën, we had Toyota, we had Hyundai. And not only that, but we also had 3 different title challenges in Ogier, Tanak and Neuville. And in 18 as well as 19, arguably, it went down to the wire for the title. And what it looks like is going to be the case next season is you've got 2 of the title challenges in one of the works teams, as in the teams that can spend much more budget, and the other one in one of the other quote-unquote works team in Toyota. Though, as Marco Martin said in an interview, he doesn't consider someone like Toyota to be a works team because it's mostly just Tommy Mäkinen's lot, the Tommy Mäkinen racing operation that manages it. It's largely the funding that comes from Japan. But you've got to ask in these kinds of situations with all of this that's going on, is the WRC going through a period of decline? Especially as we go towards the new era in 2022 with the hybrid regulations. I think the WRC can be in trouble. I don't think the hybrids are the problem, I think the cost is, and it's been something that I've been saying since 2017. As much as these new cars, and I still call them new cars because I've been a fan of WRC since, 2002, 2003, this current generation of World Rally cars are excessively expensive. We can't see anybody really fielding lengthy privateer entries, even though Pierre Boudard says, oh yeah, we're more than happy for people to use the PH Sport C3s next season. We heard very similar things in 2017 with the Volkswagen, and NASA Alatia tried to put an entry together but didn't have the money. And if somebody who carries as much sponsorship as NASA Alatia can't put together a World Rally team that he believes is competitive for a season, and especially a season like 2017 where it was the first season of the new regulations, you have to wonder what's going to be able to solve this problem. And for me, whenever I think about this, I look back to what was considered another golden era of the WRC, Group B. And Group B was spectacular. In fact, I'm going to put, for a bit of a reference, the Group B Doomed to Fail mini-documentary in my description. I'll put a content warning as well before you go and watch that. There are some clips of fatal accidents. So there are some images that people might find disturbing or distressing. But Group B was another one of these kinds of eras. You saw so many different manufacturers competing for top honours. You had like Lancia, you had Audi, you had Peugeot. Even on top of that, you also had Ford building cars. You had, of course, the Citroën VX40C. But every manufacturer wanted to get in on it because it was, well, a bit more affordable then. But at the end of the day, it was too expensive and too dangerous. 1986 proving to be the actual defining moment about how dangerous the sport has become. And I believe this is something that we've almost got in this current era of World Rally Car. We've seen so many massive crashes. We even had a fatal accident on the first stage of 2017 with Hayden Paddon and the Spectator. Of course, you can argue the Spectator wasn't in a safe place, but it doesn't avoid the fact that people have died during this generation of the World Rally Championship. And we've seen so many massive crashes, such as the one, for example, for Chris Meek. We've been lucky that crews have gotten away relatively uninjured, including, for example, Thierry Neuville's crash in Chile this season. But for me, it doesn't seem like the WRC will move away from this current trajectory to more expensive, higher power cars until there's a serious, if not fatal, crash. And that's a shame, but that's the way the sport has always been. I hope that the FIA and the WRC promoter will interject before then. And I hope they'll find a solution. And I'm also going to put forward some solutions that I've been thinking of. And here's one that they've already got as a fallback. It's one that I've said for the longest time. Switching over to the R5 formula. Now, this is not something that is necessarily exclusive in regards to hybrid technology. You can always update the R5 specifications to include these hybrid technologies. But the WRC going hybrid was rushed through, especially in its current form, because they wanted Citroën to sign up to it. And with the PSA group now gone, they could spend more time fiddling with it. They can make the cars maybe a bit slower, but a lot cheaper to run, a lot cheaper to organise, and you can potentially do it with the events as well. R5s have proven to be massively successful in regards to all different kinds of championships, both national and regional, for example the ERC. And with the exception of Toyota, who are currently working on a Yaris R5, everybody's got an R5 and more. You've got Volkswagen, you've got Skoda, you've got Hyundai, you've got Citroën have two, M Sport arguably have two different ones for the Fords as well. Proton has one that hasn't been homologated for FIA proper competitions yet. The same goes for Mitsubishi. And for me, it reminds me of Group A. Of course, we'd have to worry about more hassle of changing all the names for all the championships, but we've been doing that every year for the past couple of years now. Well, what was it? This season we had the change from it being a combined WRC2 and there being a WRC3 to there being just a WRC2 and a WRC2 Pro, and next season is going to be a WRC2 and a WRC3 again. The difference is WRC3 that we had, in 2018, which was essentially like R2s and so on, is now actually the R5s, but a privateer version of what's a WRC2. I know that sounds massively complex and convoluted, and I apologise if anybody's confused by that. But this is a massively complex and convoluted situation, as because of what the manufacturers want to do and what the promoter wants to do. My solution is we go back to having the WRC with less power, cheaper cars. That way we can have more manufacturers involved, we can have more privateers involved, and a more kind of even competition. Because at the end of the day, rallying is rallying. And Group A, even though it was initially slower than Group B, they started to break the records. I don't think that will happen so easily if we went to the R5s, just because of the massive difference between the current generation World Rally Car and the R5s. But the idea that there is a fallback that involves the R5 cars is one that I think we should all try and welcome. Because at the end of the day, it's nice to have nice, flashy, expensive cars. It's nice to see them go fast. I mean, I'm always amazed by what Group S could have become. But I'm much happier with us having had Group A. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video, even if you don't agree with me, please make sure to press the like button. It really helps me out. If you want to see more motorsport content or other kind of content from me, make sure to hit the subscribe button. You can click the bell icon to be notified of any future uploads, any future streams, any future content that I put out. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.